guys. We're almost to that weekend. I hope everyone is doing well and doing well. I hope you had a great week. So, today I want to talk about your mindset shift. And a lot of work goes around, are you able to maturely handle the responsibility of the blessing of wealth coming into your hand? Are you able to maturely handle and properly handle diligently any increases? Are you able to put yourself in that place? And a lot of it starts to deal with your mind. And that's the beginning of every center of growth. If you're trying to grow into your relationship, you have to change the way you thought about your role in the relationship. If you're a husband, boyfriend, a girlfriend, whatever the case may be, wife. If you're trying to become a leader at your job, you have to change your way you look at situations based off not just looking out for yourself, but what is going to be the greater good based off the company strategy, how to connect that and engage with your teammates, as well as what's the decision that needs to be made going forward. So when you come down to your money, this is a often tough shift, and it's actually an evolving shift because you go through many different stages of money. Even so, a good example of this would be a lot of people, even though they may have some wealth, they still operate as if they're living paycheck to paycheck. They still look at things as if they're living paycheck to paycheck. And it goes the opposite, right? Some of the stuff that gets us into debt. Those who don't have abundance and you are living paycheck to paycheck, you're more living as if you have an abundance of wealth, as if your assets are outperforming what you get and out earning your potential. So right now is the point of how can you begin to shift your mindset? What are things that are standing in your way? And so I want to talk to you about those things as just some helpful things to put in your mind to consider as you're continually trying to grow and become better with your money to be able to handle the wealth that is going to come to you. Number one, you have to be optimistic, and that is very, very different because that takes a positive view of things. That means that no matter what's going on, it always seems to be some good that's going to occur. The optimism really comes because as an investor, that's a true quality of investors. Why are they continually trying to invest in the stock market when the stock market is down? Why is the stock market showing great returns even though what seems to be happening in the economy is a struggle? Why do people invest in real estate? Why do they securities property? Why? Because they go through this process of no matter what, this is going to have more value in the future. So when they're looking at their future self, that's how they're making decisions with optimism. You don't invest in the stock market if you don't think you're getting a return. You don't invest in real estate if you don't think that and you don't have enough data to prove that even though you may not feel good about the property and its value, it will continue to outperform and grow over time. If those factors weren't there, if you didn't have a positive return in the future, you wouldn't be investing now. And so one of the things you can do in your mindset is really start to look at the glass as half full. Really be looking forward to what and optimistic of the future. Now, there is data to help you, meaning in the stock market overall has returned on average the last 56 years, 11%. If you're going in real estate, even though it's a little shorter term, real estate always goes up. There's been times where it's dipped, just like the stock market, but overall, it always bounces back the longer you hold it. So the longer you hold something, the more valuable it becomes for you. The next mindset you want to think about, if after you're thinking about glass is half full, You want to look at, okay, how can I get better? What can I do to improve my ability to look at this situation from a financial lens? Ultimately, you're increasing your financial literacy. So how do you do that? You listen to people who have done what you're trying to do. You get consistent people that you believe and have confidence in, and that can teach you how the financial pieces work so that you can formulate your own plan and make solid, good decisions. You not I wouldn't say you have to do this 24 hours a day, but you have specific points in your week or month that you set aside to actually focus on your financial future. If you were in business, you should have specific time where you're setting aside to think about the strategy of how you're going to grow the business. The same thing I need you to do for your home. Look at it like it's your personal business, because that's what it is. This money is your personal business. And if you're not concentrating or taking some time just to grow the money and make sure things are measuring up and make sure you're making decisions that's heading you in the direction that you're trying to go, then you will never, not only will you not hit the targets that you're reaching for, but you will also find that you're wasting a lot of your resources. So that is something I want you to look at. Look at your plan, look at how you can finish and build into your plan, but you have to set aside time for this. Next, you have to look at investing always as a long-term solution. So the thing about investing is that there's so many things that separates the mindset from when you're getting out of debt, or when you're doing short-term things like saving for a car or something like that. Investing is so long-term, and you have to have little mile markers, kind of like if you were driving a 18, 19-hour road trip. You have to have little mile markers that will give you a feeling of completion, will give you a jolt of satisfaction as you're on your way until you get to the big satisfaction, meaning you have to enjoy the first thousand that you get invested, then the next 10,000, then the next 20,000, then the next 50,000, then focus on the 100,000, then the next 100,000, 200,000, until you get all the way to your first million. And as once you get past some of these points, it starts to pick up steam for you, but you have to be very, very planned out and thought out in the fact that, hey, I need to set little tickers along the way where I can celebrate the progress I'm making. And because this journey is so long, I mean, you're talking about not just your lifetime, but your kids' lifetime and after you, it's important that you use things to strengthen that piece. And you set yourself in not for a quick sprint, but the long run. And take breaks and have time to celebrate your accomplishments and enjoy some of your money along the way. That is how you're supposed to build this plan. When you think about the mindset, one of the things that everyone has to develop is the fact that I value saving more than I do the spending. I value allowing my money to work and multiply than spending. Spending is a thing of enjoyment, but the fact is it can be a waste. There are things you can get from it, but when you're in the beginning stages, and I'm not saying you have to go hardcore where you're just a hoarder, saver all the time, but I'm saying your value point, you have to really develop the mindset that I value savings, and then look at it as a privilege, because we know 67, 78% of people live paycheck to paycheck. 63% of people can't afford $1,000 emergency. 40% of people can't afford a $400 emergency, it's important that you understand the value of savings, because that's going to be the thing that puts you in position to fully win. These are just a few basic concepts to help you change your mind and help you develop a mind that puts you in a position where you can still spend and enjoy, but you're making progressive action with your money. So, what will you do to change your mind? If you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and drop me a comment below. Let me know some of the things you may struggle with when dealing with mindset. But it's important that we have this discussion and that you understand that this is an evolving thing. You'll rechange your mind when you have that fully funded emergency change. You'll reshift your mind once your first 100, 200, 300,000 in wealth. You'll rechange your mind once you get to your first 1, 2, 3 million, 10 million. While things of your past, mindsets of your past can be helpful from a gratitude and even from a discipline standpoint, the fact is you have to continually evolve in order to make solid decisions on each level. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like it, again, give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend. Hope you guys have a great weekend. And I can't wait to see you guys in the next video.